Now I would go to Mr. Shah, focusing on addressing information asymmetry. How can strategic policy interventions effectively address information asymmetry among vulnerable groups in the agriculture and allied sectors? And what alternative mechanisms can financial institutions adopt to ensure better infusion of credit?
Okay, thank you. And so first of all, I would like to tell you that today I am here not because of myself, it is because of the banks whom we are representing. Our company is held or owned by the banking institution. All the top banking institutions are owning the company, and this is creating a lot of infra, a lot of credit infra today in the country today, right? So relating to this point that he is saying, primarily you need information, you need data. If a bank has to give credit, if a financial institution has to give credit, data chahiye, right? You need data. That is the bottom line. Now, being Guju, right? We know that कि भाई data कहाँ से आना चाहिए, from where the data is to come, how the data is to be processed, how the banks will get the data, and how the loans will be given. That process is known. The next thing we need to do is every data source you need to connect. So that what I am talking about, you all know that this is what is required. But has anyone done it? So what he told is that he has been doing it since few years and he has been able to disburse few crore, 1,000 crores of funds, 150 applications per day by a single person. That is possible. Across India, that is possible. Agri-stack that we were talking in the morning is not a concept anymore in India. It is already live in few states. We have done a POC on Agri-stack. We have seen that basis Agri-stack data, right, a loan is getting disbursed from banks, and our infrastructure which we have been created is integrated with top banks of the country. You name SBI, Bank of Baroda, PNB, we have representatives from those banks who have actually disbursed using Agri-stack, using the DPI with a STP. So STP is the word that we call in credit, which is called a straight through processing. No manual intervention, no banker will come in the picture. Entire process digitally and disbursement by the top banks, not by the NBFCs who give at 2% per month. It will be the top banks who give at 8%, 10%, 12% per annum, which is the lowest rate today in India. These banks have gone digital. These banks have integrated today, and the POCs have already happened. In one state, we had launched it, basis Agri-stack. So Agri-stack gives you the land records, you get the satellite data, alternate data points. You need satellite data. No one needs to go and look at the farm anymore. The satellite will give the data. A lot of information that we will get over next year, which was discussed in the morning, will still add value to it. Then you have bureau records, which are digital. You have the Aadhaar records that is digital. Everything digital today. And if you integrate the banking system on the other side, nothing is left, right? Every state in the country is adopting this. We have seen few states. As I told, one state went live. We did it on Agri-stack for around 20 farmers. And we got a request that in another 2 days, we want another state to go live. Now, this is not practically possible that in 2 days a state can go live. But the same Agri-stack that was used in one state got used in another state. And next 2 days, the entire records of that district went live and the banks were already integrated. So that disbursement happened in India in 2 days. Another state went live and a POC was conducted and it was successful. Today, more states are going live. And as told in the morning, most of the states over next 12 months will be live on Agri-stack, and this will be a next revolution that is coming. Globally, all those players who are coming from outside India should understand how this Agri-stack is being developed, should understand how these STP journeys are happening. And credit will go digital. Farmers will no more require to go to a bank to get a loan. Top institutions of the country, today in India, tomorrow every country, should be able to have this kind of infrastructure to ensure that credit processing happens. You have to have satellite data, you need to have weather data, you need to have bureau data, you need to have the KYC data, and you need to have a farmer who is ready to take a loan. And then the loan is given. Next step we have to work upon is, because seeing at the Fasal Bima Yojana, we need to integrate the insurance, because every credit that is happening in the insurance should be inbuilt in it. And I definitely trust that these products that has been created, insurance will definitely be integrated over next timeline of a month or two. and it will also be offered to the farmers real-time digitally along with the journey. So that is called embedded finance, insurance embedded into a finance. So these all things are possible, and as you told, these are live examples. This is not a theory, this is actually happening, and India is moving into that growth curve on automation which no one has ever seen, and what he explained. This is absolutely fantastic, and I'm really, I get thrilled when I work with these top banks and institutions who are my stakeholders, and I see they are passionate to get it done. It is not that the farmers need it, but the bankers also need it. Everyone in the industry needs it. So this is a requirement and it is happening. So that's all I have to say for the same. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Shah.
So I'll give a specific example. In MSME industry, financing always used to happen basis assets. It was called as asset-backed financing or balance sheet financing. You have an asset, you give as a collateral, you get money against it. It got transformed. There was a scheme called as CGTMSE that came up. So you don't need to give collateral for 1 crore, 2 crore, 5 crore loan. And you can still get a loan. So from asset-backed financing, it moved to collateral-free financing using a credit guarantee trust of government. Now it is moving to next level. It is moving to a cash flow-based financing. So you don't need to show a balance sheet itself. If you have the cash flows, you can get a cash flow-based financing. Say during a seasonal business, in Diwali you have more sales. You get more working capital limit. In the other period, you get lesser working capital limit. Now this is MSME. Use into agriculture. Agriculture, there are farmers who have land. There are farmers who are landless. If you give it basis land records, you will never be able to cater to those farmers who don't have a land. Means they are tenants working on the farms. So primarily where you have to work upon is where you can find cash flows. Say example, they are supplying milk to a dairy. If the system is connected into dairy systems, every farmer in that dairy will be able to get finance, and that will be cash flow based financing, right? So eventually financing has to move from an asset based financing into a cash flow based financing, and it is absolutely possible in agri sector also. You just need to have sources where the data is getting captured of every farmer. It can be a mandi, it can be any place where he is selling his goods. If you can get that source identified, trust me, the banks are already integrated with systems available where they can give financing. So from a policy point of view, my only recommendation is we have to move from asset-based financing to a cash flow-based financing, which is the future of financing, not only for agri, any sector, right? So if that is the base, then definitely we are going in the positive and right direction going forward. Thank you.